Today, we're here at the Prince of Pretension's palace to see if the next 4 pretentious ingredients are things Barry actually wants to steal and keep and put in his cupboard.
Or are already in his cupboard.
Or are possibly already there. As always, pretentious or not, you decide. Lift the caution number 1.
You go.
Mystery liquid number 1.
Oh, I know what that is.
I know what that is. It's botanically.
It's gin.
This is a gin, but gin is not that pretentious, is it? This is considered a fine gin that's excellent to sip neat, and/or we'll serve it as a gin and tonic in a moment, but see what tasting notes you get from it.
Oh, that's smooth. And it's a lovely sipper. Very clean.
Are you picking up on any specific botanicals, or am I going to have to give you a clue? Remember where we are in the world? Barry's palace is in Hampshire.
All right, okay. What's grown locally to here? Watercress.
Is that a botanical you're tasting?
Really?
No way.
Shall I tell you what they say the tasting notes are?
Yes, please.
Savoury notes of dill, a peppery hit from watercress, a burst of fresh zest from ripe lemon, before the pièce de la résistance, the lingering sweetness and delicate taste of crawfish. Sorry, I should correct myself. Crayfish. Same thing, different words, depending where in the world you are. So this company, the Kennet Crayfish Company, Crayfish is their business, but they also do a couple of spin-off products. This is one of them. The owners are really playful, hence the name, Cray Cray Gin, because it is a bit crazy. But it is an invasive species. Very few people have a license to actually fish them. They need to be dispatched. They can't be sold or bought live in the UK. So the way that they remove these from the habitats they live in is doing good because they're an invasive species. So crayfish like freshwater. Sometimes they're in estuaries where there might be a combination of saltwater, freshwater, but they can be anything from like swamps and like muddy places, which is why sometimes they're called mud bugs. However, these ones are particularly pure, deliciously sweet because they live in the chalk streams around here.
It's an incredible and fascinating story. I'm not sure I'm tasting it.
No.
Would you like some gin and tonic?
Yes. It might release the fish.
The quinine might, Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
They recommend best served just with classically sort of a slice of lemon over ice, with a Mediterranean tonic, so nothing too flavourful.
That's delicious, isn't it?
That's wonderful. That's my type of gin in terms of it's so refreshing as a gin.
Very savoury. I get a lot of the dill out of that, some of the watercress. I'm with you. I'm not sure what crayfish tastes like in gin form.
I can see it pairing well with seafood.
Yeah?
But not necessarily I can't taste the seafood.
If you just shut your eyes and think, as we know it, like a prawn Mary Rose salad, but think with crayfish.
Yeah.
I kind of can see the pairing and my mind is making the link. I don't know if I'm tasting it. What I am tasting is absolute deliciousness.
I really like it. Funny enough, once you add the tonic and the ice, I am now getting dill.
Yeah, same. I'm getting the watercress, it's like pepperiness as well.
Yeah, but not necessarily crayfish.
No, and I kind of would agree with that. However, a fantastic story, one that as you pour it, you're going to tell people about. It's local, which is always good, and they are doing great things. I mean, look at their website. There's a whole bunch of stuff they have to abide by. You can buy fresh or frozen crayfish from them, and they even make a crayfish oil. Price-wise, what we're saying for that bottle there?
So I think for a nice, like a really decent bottle
I'm seeing
of gin.
20 quid in my head.
25, 30
for
a really decent bottle.
Okay.
I'm going to go £40.
What? Really? Is that how much they are?
Higher or lower, Baz?
I'm going to have to say lower. 30 quid.
It's about halfway between that, 35.99. So the only question I need to ask you, pretentious or not, but I'd forgotten that and I've written some great puns. So, is this the beginning of something crazy or all just a bit fishy? Ignore that. Pretentious or not?
I don't think it's pretentious. I'm not tasting the crayfish, but also at 35 quid, I'm not being overcharged for a decent story and gin. If that was 40, 50, 60 quid, pretentious.
Fantastic story and not a pretentious one. It's the beginning of something special.
Well, you heard it here first. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2.
Are we starting?
Is she?
No, we're good.
Sienna?
Sienna?
Pretentious or not? You decide. You ready? Go!
Oh dear.
No, down there.
Can you smell that? Oh, Jamie, you know what that is straight away.
Do I? It's smoky.
Smoky.
It's a barbecue rub.
Yeah,
It feels like it's a blend of spices rather than a smoky pea.
This is baconizer dust.
As in you sprinkle it on what?
Baconizer dust. Smoky bacon dust.
Sorry, it's the sprinkle on bacon, or it is bacon.
No, Barry, for smoky chili bacon flavour whenever you want.
Milk's ready.
Oh, do you want to go back?
Oh, bye.
Sorry, mate.
This is the Dorset Spice Shed baconizer dust. Rub, blend, or dust to make everything taste of bacon.
I have noticed something on the back. It's vegan.
Okay, so it is just a spice blend.
It's a delicious spice blend of paprika, salt, sugar, smoked paprika, onion, natural hickory smoke flavour, tomato, garlic, chipotle, cayenne and clove. So all natural spices, naturally dried.
I always struggle with things that say they taste like bacon, because nothing tastes like bacon than bacon. But it gives you that kind of smoky, sweety vibe. So I think, yeah, it's absolutely delicious. And the fact you can dust things rather than have to rub and cook things with it.
So it works in a number of different ways, dusted or stirred into pasta sauces. If you haven't got smoked pancetta, they say, or guanciale, they say you can, throw it at something like a carbonara, and it gives you a similar kind of vibe. Yesterday, we had our very own taco party with the kids, and there were some leftover salad bits.
Yeah, all the healthy things that they didn't eat.
Yeah.
It's all we've got.
What you've got there is avocado, chicken, tomato salad. It's not vegan because it's got chicken in it. But what about a dusting of bacon?
Perfect.
Lovely.
We should stress that this is just to kind of throw together leftover salad dishes, but salads can be wonderful and stand alone. We've got like 3 awesome salad dishes in the stunning salads pack on Sidekick. Give those a go because they're game changers.
Cheers.
Well, very deliberately, the salad wasn't seasoned particularly for the taco party yesterday. So the only seasoning in that is the bacon dust, a little bit of olive oil, and a tiny splash of white wine vinegar.
It just adds that little something. It's a really nice way of elevating a very simple dish.
Yeah. In that salad, a little bit of bacon would be lovely, but the sprinkle does the job. It's not a replacement for bacon anywhere else than when you just need a sprinkle of it.
The Dorset Spice Shed, they don't just make the baconizer dust, they do a whole range of things that are just general meat grilling, but also more specific, kind of kebab or chicken blend. And those ones I really like because they're all branded around dinosaurs.
Okay, right.
Because we're talking Dorset, not too far from here, the Jurassic Coast, so UNESCO World Heritage, 100 miles of coastline that basically has 185 million years of history. Price-wise, what would you say for a tub like that? And where does it sit? Is it for home use? Is it the gift market? Where does it sit?
I've got 2 thoughts in my head. Because one is, I think this is about 10 quid.
Do you really?
My other thought is, well, hang on a second, it's just a spice blend. A spice blend that you would pick up in the supermarket from upwards from £1 to £3, that kind of thing. Maybe it should be sort of £4 or £5. But yeah, under a tenner, definitely.
I think it's something that's in the gift market. So I think it's a little bit higher priced than a normal spice mix. But I'd say, yeah, £6, £7.
At £4.99, it's under the £5 mark. Actually, a great little secret Santa gift for the office. Yeah. So the pun I'd written, is this door set for great things, or is it just going to get dusty in the cupboard? But that's irrelevant, because all I actually want to know is it pretentious or not?
Not pretentious.
Absolutely delicious. Not pretentious, but I don't think it's set for great things. You know what I mean? It's not blowing the world away, it's just delicious.
Nice. Ready for a third?
Yeah. Nice.
Number 3, I haven't put it in a little glass jar for you.
But it is giving me pea auras, you know what I mean? Pretentious.
Right.
Be careful and have a look at the box.
Turn it, flatten it.
Turn it.
For the most...
What is it? for the most pretentious man. Oh my God, it's engraved.
Oh, Evans.
Pretentious.
Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, thank you for the box, first of all. We're keeping this forever. Oh, okay. This makes sense. Is it the bottles even engraved with pretentious or not? You decide.
Saves me asking the question. It also came with a handwritten card, so they wrote that out by hand as well. But yeah, what do we think?
English sparkling wine.
I know when we moved to Winchester, we knew that there were many vineyards in the area that are specialising in supposedly award-winning sparkling wine.
Well, you're not far wrong. This vineyard has won 160 awards and countless trophies. This wine alone, 62 global awards, many of them golds in global wine challenges and wine awards. Obviously, the next thing to do is to open it. But let me read you what comes in their packaging. Here it is. Absolutely marvellous. Clear some space in the fridge, get rid of the sparkling water. That should be in there anyway. It's important to assure your bottle of Hattingly is chilled to perfection before removing the cork in the quietest and most unobtrusive way possible, please, if you don't mind, and then bottoms up, unapologetically British.
Okay, fantastic.
They got some copywriters.
Yeah.
I was going to open it, but it's yours. You open
Oh,
it.
thank you, mate. Ketchup!
Oh, that wasn't quiet.
Yes.
The reason this wine is so good is because of the chalk terroir, which kind of matches and echoes the Champagne region too.
That to me splits the difference between Prosecco and Champagne in terms of taste. Champagne is more winey tasting than Prosecco, and that is slap bang in the middle.
And what you're saying there, this is English sparkling and it is made the traditional method style. So, hugely complex, but grapes obviously grown locally. They are fermented, and then a percentage of it is oak barrel aged. So you get a little bit of that oaking. And then it's blended, make sure it hits their kind of house style. And then it's put into the bottle for second fermentation. And in the bottle, it stays for 4 years on the lees, which means the yeast is still in the bottle, which gives it that nice biscuity, kind of like brioche note. And then they disgorge it. So they pop the yeast out and put a cork and a cage on it. That is why it takes over 5 years to make that bottle of wine.
Wow.
Probably worth saying, the vineyard started as a diversity project on a farm about 6 years ago. And as a result of this other diversity, not just the vineyards, but other projects on the farm, they've seen the reintroduction of incredibly rare, barely ever seen in the UK, butterflies, which is the brand logo. Because basically it's now a wonderfully biodiverse area and the natural wildlife is coming back. It's also crafted by a lady called Emma Rice, who was the winemaker there for many years. She kind of built the winery to her exacting standards, and she won Winemaker of the Year 2 years. The first female to ever do that.
Amazing.
Whoa. This feels like this is fit for this episode. The first one today, it feels like. Because to me, straight away, that is pretentious for all the reasons that we love.
So I think sometimes it's difficult to pull out tasting notes in sparkling wine more so than it is in still wines, but it's lovely and floral with like honeysuckle. It's zesty, like lemon zest and orange peel, but also those green fruits that we like of like high acid, zippy wines, things like green apple.
A little while ago, we did a little wine tasting, a wine kit we put together. And one of the biggest things that I found useful about tasting wine was to close your eyes and picture the location. So we had some Californian wines, we had some Australian wines, and to imagine that in that environment. We don't have to here, just look out the window. And it does feel very British suddenly, and it kind of helps you appreciate this a little bit more. And if you want to appreciate the Hampshire flavour, then have a bowl.
So this is English sparkling, but it is made in exactly the same way and with a similar terroir, the chalk of the likes of Champagne. Classic champagne houses like Moet, you know, you're looking at 40 quid plus a bottle. How much for this? As just a bottle without the personalisation.
In my head, I had £40.
£36 a bottle. How much to have it personally engraved and a wooden box with your very own message on it?
It's a ridiculous thing to do, but I'm very, very grateful for it. Thank you. But yeah,
It's going to
25, 30 quid.
Yeah, 60 quid in total.
46 quid, it's an extra tenner to have it personalised and sent to your door.
If you're spending that much on a bottle of wine anyway, then just go all out. I love that.
Yeah, if you're going to gift it to someone, particularly for 10 quid, that's a great way of making it personalised and an even more special present.
Yeah.
So here we go then. Is it a corking plonk of a wine?
Wow.
Right, okay.
Really room for that one.
Or in grave danger of being pretentious?
Well done, well done.
See, that's why I'm shoehorning. I'm quite good today. Irrelevant. Pretentious or not, you decide. It's on the bottle.
For me, it's a double whammy. It's a corking plonk and it's beautifully pretentious.
I think you'll decide whether it's pretentious on your overall opinion of sparkling wines and whether you think something like champagne is already pretentious. I don't think it's pretentious. I think it's really good quality local wine, not pretentious.
What do we have under the cloche now?
Ooh,
Oh!
just had them removed.
It's a fruit.
It definitely looks like a fruit.
It's like a jellified fruit.
Cheers.
That is delicious. What are you?
Oh my God, I know exactly what it is.
It's a massive grape.
Yeah.
This is a ruby Roman grape,
It's a big grape.
It's a big grape.
often served peeled.
Oh my God! What the? Look at this! That can't be local.
This is the first pretentious ingredient in this particular episode that is not local.
Oh my God. They are sensational.
Do you remember the muskmelon we had?
I'm having that moment, Evans. This is incredible. Welcome to our Japanese fruit world.
You are absolutely right. They're from Japan, specifically Ishikawa prefect. So kind of in between Tokyo and Kyoto, but up on the northern coast.
That is the juiciest grape I've ever
That
had.
is insanity.
It is super floral, very sweet without being sickly sweet.
To be a ruby Roman grape that hits the quality stamp, it has to be at least 18% sugar and it has to be at least 20 grams in weight per grape. If it hits 30 grams per grape, it goes into the most premium bracket of ruby Roman grapes. Some years, no grapes make it. But in terms of process, hugely labour intensive because the vines need to be pruned and trimmed. They take off certain grapes to give space for the rest of the grapes to get bigger on the bunch. The growers use light meters to make sure there is the right intensity of light in the space to grow them. They use a brick meter to measure the sugar content before they are picked, and then we got those from the same fruit and veg supplier that found us a muskmelon. Incredibly exquisite.
They are superbly engineered, like meticulously engineered grapes.
I compare this sort of food to when you go out to a really high-end restaurant, you go, oh, you know what, I'm going to treat myself for a special experience, and you're paying for the experience. This, and same with that melon, you're going, right, this is a once-in-a-lifetime ingredient.
I've not tried one yet.
No. Oh. Get ready, Evers.
Wow. You're right with floral.
Oh, yeah.
You breathe in and you just taste it through your nose.
Yeah.
So I think it is the decadence of the peeled grape and being fed peeled grapes that probably leans into the Roman aspect.
Yeah.
Ruby from their colour, but they're a relatively new thing. They first came to market in 2008, and it is a factor of crossbreeding multiple different types through nature and many, many attempts and many, many years. And I think eventually they got lucky, and one of the ones that they crossbreeded turned into that. I mean, how much for a bunch of grapes, right?
£2.50, £3.
Couple of quid, yeah, a few quid.
Okay,
a
yeah.
nice bunch of grapes from if you know the kind of, you're looking for something specific, maybe from a high-end greengrocer, you might go up to like £5 for a bunch. How much for that punnet of ruby Roman grapes?
If I said £2 per grape,
I'd pay that. I'd pay that for the experience. You think how much some like candies are.
Yep.
Like £2, no, I'd pay a fiver for this experience.
How much did we pay for the punnet?
Then it's £100.
Or you would just multiply that up?
I would, yeah.
I was going
think
to go
so.
£50.
Bunches have been known to sell pretty much at auction because there's so few of them. It's fight for the only bunch that exists for thousands of dollars.
Heathers.
This year, and this punnet of this size, £48 for a punnet.
Oh,
you were pretty close.
It's quite close. I mean, still.
But guessing aside,
Ridiculous.
more than £2 a grape.
That's about the same price as some of the really posh peaches you can get in the UK. They're absolutely delicious. And you go, you know what, for this one peach, that's worth the money.
You have to take your head to a completely different space because that is not... Barry!
Didn't work.
That is not a bunch of grapes. That is an incredibly decadent, unbelievable experience that will not be like any grape that you've ever had in your life.
So I've got a question for you boys. After all this, does size really matter? Or is this a growing trend too far? Irrelevant. Pretentious or not?
Pretentious AF, and I love it.
I have a new definition of pretentious. Forget all the cameras and what we do. Imagine you're sitting down with your friends explaining what you've eaten and why it's so nice. Everyone around the table is thinking, what a And that is why this is pretentious. And it is so delicious and I love it.
What do you guys think? Comment down below, not just whether it is pretentious or not and the other 3 ingredients, but what on earth does pretentious mean? Comment down below.